all of the speakers. Thank you. Okay, we will begin this public meeting and calling the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Any disclosures of declarations of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? Does anybody have an interest to declare? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you. I don't, but just preamble. Previously at the volunteer public meeting some months ago, out of caution and without legal opinion, I had declared a potential conflict, but was unsure. Since then, I have retained counsel and have since received an opinion in writing, which is on file with the clerk from the Integrity Commissioner. So therefore, I will not be declaring a conflict this evening.
Okay. Any other conflicts? I too had declared a conflict at the previous meeting, and I too secured legal counsel and have legal advice that is on file with the clerk, and I will be participating in the meeting this evening. So the purpose of tonight's meeting is zoning bylaw amendment application D14-2023-007, which is in regards to 507 Thousand Islands Parkway, 507A Thousand Islands Parkway, 515 Thousand Islands Parkway, 14 McRae's Bay Lane, 26 McRae's Bay Lane, 30 McRae's Bay Lane, and 36 McRae's Bay Lane. So I'll read the preamble and then we will go from there. Personal information collected at this public hearing is collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making a decision on this matter. There is no recommendation coming from staff being brought forward tonight. All names, addresses, opinions, and comments are collected and form part of the minutes which are available to the public. The purpose of this public meeting is to present the planning application in a public forum as required by the Planning Act. Following the presentations by the applicant and staff, council members will be afforded an opportunity to ask questions for clarification or further information. The meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. For the meeting tonight, we recognize there are many people who would like to speak. So the sign-up sheet has been taken care of, and if you'd like to be added, we can add you at the end. If you are online, please use the raise your hand function and we will note your name and place you on the list of speakers. We ask that if your comments are the same as the speaker before you, that you note you agree with the previous speaker and provide any additional comments that you may have. When you speak, please provide your name and address for recording in the minutes. All comments should be directed to myself, the chair of the meeting. Council will hear all of the submissions from the public following this, and the applicant will be provided the opportunity to address the public questions once all members of the public have made their submissions. Please note that written submissions will continue to be received following tonight's meeting. If a person or public body would have an ability to appeal the decision of council to the Ontario Land Tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the township before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision. So, Madam Planner.
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you, staff can confirm that notice of this public meeting has been completed in accordance with the Planning Act, and that includes a mailed notice to all owners of property within 120 meters of the subject lands, as well as a mailed notice to all prescribed public bodies and signage being posted on each of the properties involved with the application. We note that all written correspondence as well as public comments received this evening will be addressed as part of a future comprehensive report to council. And just to remind the public here this evening that there is a sign-up sheet, if you haven't already done so, to be added to our mailing list for advance notice of any future meetings or decisions regarding the application. And the sign-up sheet is just located at the front counter of the township office out in the lobby. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I guess we will be bringing forward the planner for the applicant at this point in time.
Good evening, members of the public, council, and staff. My name is Kelsey Jones, and I'm a registered professional planner with Photem Planning and Design in Kingston. I'm here this evening on behalf of the applicants and joined by Kehoe Marine Construction to present an application for zoning bylaw amendment related to the properties known as 507 to 515 Thousand Islands Parkway and 14 to 36 McCrae's Bay Lane. The properties are located south of the Thousand Islands Parkway, west of Ivy Lee, with frontage on the St. Lawrence River. The surrounding area consists of tourist commercial uses, including several marinas, both west and east of the site, as well as shoreline residential uses south of the parkway, and rural residential uses north of the parkway. The image on this slide shows some of those commercial uses, tourist commercial uses, which are located in proximity to Kehoe. The properties consist of a consolidated lot area of approximately 3 hectares with approximately 243 meters of frontage on the parkway and approximately 340 meters of frontage on the river. The properties are developed and have been operating as a marine manufacturing business, and Kehoe Marine Construction has owned and operated these properties since 2008 and 2010. And previous owners of the lands operated and owned the properties dating back approximately 65 years, and they operated marine uses since then. And Kehoe currently employs a total of 55 full-time employees, and these lands are one of the very limited number of locations in the region that provide an opportunity for loading and offloading of heavy construction materials for marine purposes. The image on this slide shows existing use and development of the properties, including a 2-story office building and connected 1-story mechanic shop located in the west portion of the site, a 2- and 3-story manufacturing building and 1-story indoor storage building centrally located on the site. There's open storage racks located east of the manufacturing building, a 2-story residential dwelling located in the east portion of the site, and open storage located in the north portion along the parkway. Vehicle access is provided from 3 separate entrances, one for customers, employees, and larger trucks and vehicles. And a total of 67 parking spaces are provided, as well as 2 loading spaces on site. And something that isn't shown in this graphic is the elevation changes across the property. So there's a slope down from west to east. So the eastern portion of the property is approximately 2 meters lower than the paved surface of the parkway. And there's a retaining wall that exists along that portion of the frontage. And as well, the land slope north to south, with the shoreline having a lower elevation than the parkway. And I'd also like to note that there are alterations occurring to the western portion of the shoreline and seawall. And these previous approvals were granted by the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans and the Cataraqui Region Conservation Authority to permit alterations and upgrades to the seawall and shoreline due to its unstable nature. And this work it will result in an expanded site area, regrading, and enlarged boat launch. But this work is separate from the current application before you this evening. The image on this slide shows that the properties are designated rural lands in the United Counties official plan. This land use designation is intended to protect the natural amenities and rural character of the counties while providing opportunities for agricultural uses, resource-based activities, recreation and tourism, and other rural land uses. And as well, it's intended to promote development opportunities related to rural land uses that cannot be located in settlement areas. The properties are designated rural and located in the Thousand Islands Special Policy Area of the Township Official Plan. And this land use designation is intended to allow for a range of uses which provide the rural community with opportunities to live and work. And within the Thousand Islands Special Policy Area, industrial uses may be permitted if the use requires proximity to water. Section 3 of the official plan provides objectives of the plan, some of which are to encourage steady, diversified, and balanced economic growth, ensure a wide range of employment opportunities, and support new and local existing businesses. The image on this slide shows that the subject lands consist of multiple different zones, including tourist commercial, shoreline residential, open space, and provincially significant wetland. And I will note that the west portion of the property is subject to the site-specific tourist commercial zone, CT23, rather than the CT22 zone shown on the image on this slide. And the CT23 zone allows a marine facility manufacturing industry as a permitted use. So the existing marine manufacturing use in the west portion of the property is an already permitted use by the existing zoning on the properties. The purpose of this application is to consolidate the existing zoning to bring all of the property owned by Kehoe Marine into one zone that will facilitate the continuation of the existing rural industrial and marine manufacturing business. As well, it will allow some site improvements, open storage, and a new building for indoor storage. The new one-story indoor storage building is proposed south of the existing indoor storage building and set back from the shoreline and the parkway, and this building is shown in purple on the slide. It's proposed to expand and improve areas of open storage, including along the parkway and south of the new storage building. And some changes to on-site parking are proposed, including removal of parking located south of the mechanic shop and the addition of parking to the employee parking area. And the existing single detached dwelling within the southeast corner of the property is proposed to be retained as an accessory use. So the proposal seeks to consolidate all of Kehoe's properties under a single zone and facilitate the continuation of the use. And no changes to the site use or operations are proposed as a result of these applications. So the zoning bylaw amendment, as I've mentioned, seeks to consolidate the existing zoning to a rural industrial special exception zone to bring all of the property owned by Kehoe into one zone that will facilitate the continuation of the existing uses on the property. And I'd like to clarify again that the existing manufacturing use and operation on the west portion of the site is permitted by the existing site-specific tourist commercial zone that exists on the property. So the current zoning bylaw amendment seeks to change the name of the parent zone of the property from tourist commercial to rural industrial. And we've simply chosen this parent zone because it better reflects the existing uses on the property. And no new uses are proposed to be introduced as a result of this application. And we're simply, seeking to change the name of the zone and consolidate the zoning across the properties. There are a few site-specific zoning provisions related to open storage, setbacks, and buffering. However, these will not change the existing use or operation of the current property. It is proposed to rezone the provincially significant wetland zone portions of the properties to reflect updated Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry wetland mapping. So the image on this slide identifies the PSW areas recognized by the MNRF in blue, with the boundary of the proposed rezoning shown in red. And as can be seen, there's no areas of PSW within the proposed rezoning boundary. In summary, the proposed zoning bylaw amendment seeks to bring the properties into a single zone to facilitate the continuation of the existing marine manufacturing use. No new uses will be introduced and no changes to the existing manufacturing operations will occur as a result of the zoning change. And we are looking to change the parent zone and consolidate the zoning across the properties. The proposal is consistent with the provincial policy statement and conforms to the United Counties and Township Official Plan. And ultimately, the application will support the continuation of an existing business and employer within the township. And it is my professional opinion that the proposal represents good land use planning. And with that, I thank you for your attention and pleased to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions regarding the presentation? Counselors? Okay. Okay, so we'll go to the list of people who are looking to speak. I would ask that all speakers keep their comments to a minimum, or sorry, a maximum of 5 minutes. We do have a list here. We want to give everybody an opportunity to actually speak, keeping in mind that the application that is put forward before the public tonight is in regards to the zoning bylaw amendment application. I just want to make it perfectly clear that all other issues with any other properties are not applicable to this application. So if your comments stray off of the application, I ask you to wrap it up and keep your comments to the zoning bylaw amendment application at hand. Go ahead, Councillor.
I apologize. It's really a process question. Will we be hearing from our own planners?
Would you? Okay, I can recognize the planner. Go ahead.
Thank you, through you. No, we're not bringing forward a report this evening. This is a public meeting to gather the input, and following the public meeting, we'll be reviewing all of the public input that's received and preparing a recommendation to council to be brought forward together with all of the other supporting information that's been provided.
Okay, I follow up with that.
Can I ask you to pause for a second? We're just having